And we all know that these moves in its most extreme example lead to the fool's mate. Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Impress with number 135 in the series Viewers Games. If you would like your game to be analyzed on the Chess to Impress YouTube channel, you can send it to me by email to classroomchess64@gmail.com. It is the turn of Steven, and when I wrote an email to Steven saying it was his turn, he said, "I thought this day would never come." In his original email he said, "Rick, this is Steven from the YouTube comments. I hope this finds you and finds you doing well. I'm not sure where to send Viewers Games, but today I finished a quick one, which shows why not to put out all your pawns first." We're going to have a look at Steven's game, which is quite a short game, so we'll have a bonus at the end of the video. Steven is a long time supporter of the Chess to Impress YouTube channel, always quite active in the comment section as well, although lately I have not seen him. I'm sure he will be back. This game was played on chess.com and it was a correspondence game with a time control of 3 days per move. Steven is called Silgart on chess.com and he had a rating of 1280 when this game was played, and his opponent was 12 Totov with a rating of 1237. e4 was the first move by Steven. His opponent played d6, knight f3, and now a very strange move already on move 2 from black. He played f7, f6, probably the worst move in the position, weakening the king and taking away the natural development square for the knight. f6 is hardly ever a good move in the opening. d4, Steven takes the center, b6, bishop d3, e6, knight c3, and the bishop gets fianchettoed. Bishop f4 from Steven without the f7, f6 move. Black's setup is very playable. It would be a setup which is called the modern defense, leaving the center to white and aim to strike later. And now look at this one, g5, further weakening the king. Bishop back to e3, knight c6, and Steven finds the strongest move in this position, which is d4, d5. White needs to act quickly to make use of the weakened black king. Black played f6 and g5, and we all know that these moves in its most extreme example lead to the fool's mate. Let's actually have a look at that in case you don't know it. e4, f6, question mark, d4, g5, double question mark, and queen h5 is checkmate. The shortest game possible because of these f6 and g5 moves, which is called a fool's mate. And black has played these same moves in this position, although it's not an immediate checkmate. After d5, black played knight e5, that knight was attacked on c6, and Steven took. And now white has two lethal open diagonals against black's king. The b5 to e8 diagonal and the h5 to e8 diagonal. Black has to take the piece back, and d takes e6. That's a pawn in the back for white. Queen d6. Black had 3 days to think about the position, but is totally oblivious to the fact that his king is in big danger. Instead he tries to win the pawn back, or if we give him a bit more credit, he's preparing to castle out of danger to the queen side with his queen d6 move. But it's a bad move, because here is queen h5 check, taking those castling rights away. What happens if you go to d8? It was not played in the game. Let's look at one variation. White wins then with castling queenside himself, threatening to play this bishop away, which would win the queen because it is skewer. If black plays then king c8 to avoid that, then there is bishop c4 as the strongest move according to the engine, attacking the queen. The rook is now hitting the queen. Queen e7, rook d7, winning the queen, because if you try to save your queen going to the only square that is available for the black queen, then it is checkmate on e8. Just one variation after queen h5 check and then king d8 to show that it's totally over. In the game, king e7 was played by black instead of king d8. Queen f7 check by Steven, king d8 only move, And now Stephen castled queenside with that same threat of playing the bishop away, winning the queen. If you play queen e7, which was not played, then bishop c4 check is the strongest move. The rook gives check to the king, king c8, and then white retreats the queen, keeping the queens on the board, and the a6 pawn is also still kept alive. And black's position is in total disarray. It hurts your eyes to look at black's position. All these pieces on the back rank, the king on c8, the queen in the firing line of white's pieces, and the bishop on b7 is the only piece that is good for black. One good piece will not save your position. All this after castling queenside and then queen e7, which was not played. In the game, black played knight e7. At least bringing one piece into play. Bishop b5, good move again from Stephen. And now there is a checkmate threat on the back rank. Queen e8 would be checkmate. If you protect the back rank, for example with bishop h6, then of course white can take black's queen, and white's attack will rage on. That's not playable, but there's nothing that can save black. In the game, black played the very strange move bishop d5. I guess he was trying to save his queen, but misses mate in one. It's clear that black did not give this correspondence game much attention. Even though he had 3 days per move, he probably did not look at any position for more than a few minutes. Stephen put the nail in the coffin with queen e8 checkmate on the 15th move, and he had indeed won a very quick game, punishing black for his very poor opening play, after which Stephen did not give black a second chance. Well played, Stephen. You taught your opponent a good lesson here. As this was a very short game, I said it is a little bonus. Jack Waring is another faithful supporter of the Chess to Impress YouTube channel, and he sent in the comments a few videos ago a suggestion about making a video on the worst moves not made, and he attached a game to it. Let's have a quick look at that one. It's also a very short one. Jack was white. It was a correspondence game of 1 day per move, and he played e4. His opponent played a Caro-Kann, d4, d5, e5, c5, all theory, c3, knight c6 developing, knight f3, and bishop g4. All normal moves so far. Bishop e2 is the main move according to the database, but Jack played d takes c5, which is also possible. And now e6 is the main move here, but black blundered. After d takes c5, he played knight takes e5. And that move deserves a double question mark. Because of a move that Jack missed, knight takes e5 should be played here. A wonderful queen sacrifice. Because if you take the queen, then there is bishop b5 check, and all you can do is interpose the queen, which will be taken. King d8, king takes d1 with 2 extra pieces for white. White wins easily. But Jack, as mentioned, did not see it. After knight takes e5 double question mark, he played queen a4 check double question mark, missing that knight takes e5 shot. But he got another chance, because here bishop d7 should be played, and then queen back to b3, and the game is in the balance. But after queen a4 check, black played queen d7 to shield the check. Another move with a double question mark. Because here bishop b5 wins for white. It does not win the queen directly, because you can interpose the knight. But then there is knight e5, putting a lot of pressure on that c6 square. 3 pieces are looking at it, and also you're attacking the queen. The queen can go to e6, which is a tricky move, pinning the knight, because the king is still in the center. Then bishop e3 to unpin the knight. Queen takes e5, winning that piece, but there is bishop takes c6 check, and after b takes, queen takes check, you win the rook in the corner. King d8, queen takes a8 check with an extra exchange and a winning position for white. So all that after queen a4 check, interposing the queen, which is the wrong move, and then bishop b5. But Jack missed his second chance as well, and instead of bishop b5, he played queen takes d7 check. He just swapped off the queens. And after bishop takes d7, Jack resigned. He said, I resigned because I don't deserve the privilege of chess after that. I missed 2 wins. And Jack must have been so upset that he did not even see that he had a 3rd chance to win the game. Bishop takes e7 was another blunder. Of course, black should have taken back with the knight, and then the position is about equal. After bishop takes e7, white can simply pick up a piece with knight takes e5. But as mentioned, Jack thought he did not deserve the privilege of chess after missing 2 wins, and he resigned. Quite extreme, but having corresponded with Jack over the last number of months, it seems something that he indeed would do. Jack is certainly an interesting and entertaining character, and the quote, "I don't deserve the privilege of chess," is quite nice. We should indeed all see the fact that we can play chess as a privilege. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the Chess to Impress channel and please leave a comment. I will read them all and I will reply to them all. If you like the video, if you like this Viewers Game series, then please share it on social media by clicking the share button on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram, on Twitter and on Facebook. This is Rick for Chess to Impress. Thank you for watching.